All right, guys, buckle up because it is happening. Just days into Trump's second term, immigration enforcement is out there. And most, as it seems, of the major operations are already underway in cities across the country. And guess what? Now they are here in Boston. And it seems as though that they have mainly been targeting or have targeted arrests, okay? But sanctuary cities are under a lot of scrutiny. They have been, they will be, so on and so forth. But the local officials in these areas, they are furious, okay? They're furious with the federal pressure, and they're voicing their opinions. And, you know, guys, here's my take on this, okay? And I could be wrong. I feel like a lot of what people are saying are some levels of emotional blackmail, right? Or emotional manipulation. We're in a robbing Peter to pay Paul circumstance, and you can't benefit one side without hurting the other. There's literally no win-win currently. And honestly, you know, as it stands right now, I know this is a contentious topic, but like, what do we do? Do we not uphold the law, right? Am I wrong about this? Like, do we just not uphold the law? I mean, the floodgates were completely open the last 4 years, and it's had a realistic impact, okay? So, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm going to go over the article with you guys live. This is my first time reading it, so you could expect me mispronouncing things, all right? Trump push to arrest illegal immigrants hits Boston. Let's see what it has to say. ICE has already begun rounding up hundreds of illegal immigrant criminals across the country, just 2 days into the Trump administration's aggressive push, including the Boston area, where one Haitian gang member told agents, "Bleep Trump, Biden forever," according to a Fox News report set to air today. That is not surprising. The Herald reported last weekend that Trump was ready to pounce on the nation's illegal immigration crisis and that Chicago was first on the list, but that Boston was not too far behind. Now it appears that Boston's timetable has been sped up as Fox News embedded with Boston-based members of ICE's enforcement and removal operations and witnessed at least 8 arrests, according to a tweet from reporter Bill Milligan. We're going to leave it at that. That segment, set to air Thursday, will feature arrests on the streets of Greater Boston, including, according to Milligan's sneak peek tweet, the arrest of a Haitian gang member with a long rap sheet who told arresting officers that he ain't going back to Haiti, and bleep Trump, Biden forever. Border czar Tom Homan said on Tuesday, the first full day of Trump's second term, that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers had already arrested 308 serious criminals, including murderers. Some of them were rapists and some... Okay, I'm not going to say these things, guys. All right? You could see it on the screen. So ICE is doing their job, just as President Trump has said they would. Holman said Wednesday morning in an interview on Fox News, "Are they going to continue every day?" Other cities targeted in the sweep included Denver, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Seattle, Baltimore, and Miami, according to the New York Post. Along with the arrest comes pressure on cities and states to comply with the crackdown. A Justice Department memo obtained circulating Wednesday indicates that higher-ups have ordered federal prosecutors to investigate state and local officials and laws that threaten to impede the administration's immigration enforcement efforts. Indeed, it is the responsibility of the Justice Department to defend the Constitution and accordingly to lawfully execute the policies that the American people elected President Trump to implement, Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove wrote in the memo. Base state cities rushed to affirm their status as sanctuary cities, including Amherst, Boston, Cambridge, Chelsea, Concord, Newton, Northampton, and Somerville. Natick has also joined the fray. If you remember, Natick was claiming that they are not a sanctuary city. Okay, they're just to have sanctuary rules to some extent. Somerville's mayor said that it is disheartening that sanctuary and welcoming city policies remain so widely misunderstood. Somerville is squarely focused on local public safety, which includes our police conducting local police work and leaving immigration enforcement to federal agencies without interference, but also working with all federal agencies on criminal cases. No one who commits a crime gets a free pass here. Ballantyne continued. At the same time, we are deeply concerned that mass deportations will lead to economic and social harms, including driving up food costs and endangering people who fled violence and crisis at home. We continue to urge the administration to instead focus on humane immigration reform. But the issue is, look, there needs to be some levels of reform, right? But the cat is already out of the bag. So the reform should have already been in place before people came here, right? To some extent, I would think. Now you're trying to change something after it's already happened, all right? You're trying to backpedal to some extent. Likewise, a spokesman for Cambridge said that the city remains unwavering in its commitment to supporting and promoting the safety, health, and well-being of all its residents. That includes free Know Your Rights workshops through the city where immigration attorneys inform those interested on immigration law and even provide advice. The local police department does not routinely ask about or investigate a person's documentation status, as that is the responsibility of the federal government. However, it says spokesman Jeremy Warnick did say that the CPD would, however, assist any law enforcement agency that has an active warrant for an arrest of a violent offender. Finally, while Cambridge has benefited from a number of federal grant programs, it is prepared to navigate any shifts in policies that may come with the new administration. So basically, what they're trying to say here is if they don't comply to perhaps the new administration, they could be subject to potentially losing something in terms of federal grant programs. All right. And that's one of the biggest concerns for a lot of these places, by the way. In Boston, ICE claims that Boston Police Department refused to act on nearly 200 immigration detainer requests last year, the Herald previously reported. We went over that. Neither Mayor Michelle Wu's office nor the BPD returned an email request for the comment on the DOJ development. The Massachusetts Teacher Association said it was repulsive that Trump's directive would allow ICE to arrest students in states' public schools. It is repulsive to our shared common values, and this cruel policy shatters the trust that families place in our educators and our public schools as safe havens and inflicts lasting trauma on innocent children. Governor Maura Healey maintains that Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state, a statement she made recently as Wednesday's budget press conference. While she said she hadn't yet read about the DOJ order, she said she has no reason to be concerned. Officials here follow the law. We are not a sanctuary state. When it comes to actual civil immigration enforcement, that is something that by law is delegated. It is the authority of federal law enforcement and federal immigration officials, she added. I don't stand in the way of that. Border Czar Holman indicated that the swift escalation of arresting those here illegally was just the beginning and could very well expand its scope. There's nothing in the immigration law that says you have to be convicted of a serious crime to be removed under the INA, which is the Immigration and Nationality Act, he said on a Fox News interview. So if you're in the country illegally, then ICE can visit you. But right now, as we've said repeatedly, and President Trump has been clear, we are concentrating on the worst first. So one thing I wanted to point out up here, I know that the teacher wrote this about, pulling kids out of schools. Look, guys, I have children too. But the fact of the matter is, if I went to another, again, my opinion could be completely wrong. You guys could disagree with me. But if I went to another country in the stance that I am there illegally and I have a child, I end up having a child there, I just, to some extent, how do you go somewhere and not already have in your head the threat of something happening? You effectively already broke the law, right? Having a child in the United States is kind of like an exploit to somewhat maintain in the United States. So again, I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing per se. I think children should be, like I said, I have kids, guys, but if your parents did something illegally, again, what do you do? Do we not uphold the law? I'm asking you guys seriously. It's a really contentious topic here with this whole birthright citizenship and stuff like that. And a lot of other countries, to my knowledge, okay, and I could be completely wrong, but from what I've been reading, a lot of other countries don't necessarily have that same. They don't necessarily have or abide by those rules. And as a matter of fact, a lot of other countries have what it seems to be stricter border policies. So in terms of like the reforms and stuff like that, look, guys, they need to fix that. They needed to fix that, I should say. It shouldn't be fixed after something was already broken, all right? There was already a problem. Now they're trying to fix the problem after it's already happened, right? The reform should have happened prior, okay? But if it didn't really, this stuff has been going on for years, okay? This has been going on, I feel like, for a very, very long time. It's just been magnified over the last 4 years because so many people came over. And again, if you're using like hacks or exploits to some extent to like live and stay here, I don't see what's stopping anybody else from doing the same exact thing. So again, when it comes to resources and bottlenecks and so on and so forth, it creates a strain on our economy, and it creates a strain on the tax-paying citizens that are here. So I don't know, guys. That's my opinion on this whole thing. We'll see how it plays out. I'll cover this. There's going to be something on Thursday. If it's at a reasonable time, maybe we'll live stream that. But anyway, thank you for sending me this article. Again, could have had some mishaps and mispronunciation, whatever it may be. I'm not perfect. But anyway, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye.